Light appears. Ready. They're off and they're racing. Capital Flight and Son of the Boss. They were the first to hit the ground. Almighty Class sprung the stalls and is right there in the firing line early. Taropa's going to camp right behind that trio. Then Washu, Storm Chaser, El Salto wider. Back behind them on the inside, Super Session. Live to Tell. Stablemate Generosity out the back and last Amber Glide. 600 metres to go. Capital Flight led them. Son of the Boss had to be taken hold of through the head in the air. And Almighty Class was forced to sit 3 deep outside of him, so the favourite not getting too many favours, but he's going up stylishly on the home corner. Taropa's going to follow his every move. Moashu, El Salto, Storm Chaser, they head the remainder, balancing at the 250. Watson makes a move now. Almighty Class reaches the lead from Son of the Boss. Capital Flight, Taropa back behind them. Almighty Class though down inside the last 100, edges his way clear, and he's got that stamp of class on him. Almighty Class beat Taropa. Gee, they were queuing up for third. Amber Glide came with a big finishing run late. Storm Chaser, Live to Tell, back near the inside, Super Session, Son of the Boss, then Capital Flight, followed by Moashu, deeper out Generosity, and El Salto compounded to finish back there amongst the last of them in. Too good for them. Almighty Class's quality has shone through in the Schweppes handicap. Strong win. Didn't get too many favours afforded to him either. He won on this day. 12 months ago he won the Max Simmons as a 3-year-old, and he wins the Schweppes handicap first up today for the Mitchell Pateman stable, ridden by Holly Watson, beating number 12 Taropa, 2 Amber Glide. There's an eye catcher first up over the unsuitable journey, but charging to the line, and we wait for fourth. They've run 58.35. Number 9 ran fourth, Son of the Boss. The interim placing 6.12.29 there, 6.12.29 to race 9, and 1 1/4 and a half a length the margins. Playing God gelding, Almighty Class out of My Classy Lady for Ms. C. Williamson, C. Hunter, T. Black, T. Hodge, K. Hodge, D. Tucker, T. Hodge, R. Pearson, A. Alari, J. Jenkin, B. McIntosh, C. Askevold McDonald, prepared by Mitchie Pateman and written by Holly Watson. Scoring from Taropa, who followed the winner's every move in running but simply wasn't good enough on the day, by Toronado, trained by Vernon Brockman, Brad Parnham aboard, and Amber Glide, the Nakoni mare from the yard of Ross Price. Joe Azzopardi surging home late down the outside to grab third. So fourth, 9 Son of the Boss, and fifth in 5 Live to Tell after the running of the final event on the card. Well, there were high expectations that he would make a winning return today. He had trialled the house down, Almighty Class, and Watson rode him as the best horse in the race. He did get shunted a bit wide there. Capital Flight, Son of the Boss, had him working, but this big imposing son of leading sire Playing God was simply too good for them in the final event on this afternoon's opening day from Ascot. It ends with a bang. Let's go downstairs and catch up with Lockie Taylor, about to be joined by winning trainer in Mitchell Pateman.
Thanks, Darren. Almighty Class takes out the last of the day. The weight of expectation on this horse was massive coming into the last of the day. Mitch Pateman joins me now. Mitch, what's the initial emotions? Obviously, there's always been such a big rap on this horse. Is it relief right now?
Yeah, just glad to see him go out there and relax and settle and get into a rhythm. And like I wanted to play jockeys out there, and he got shunted 3 deep from probably the 700, and he just monstered him. Like he's a beast when he's right. Like I know I've boomed him up and he probably hasn't delivered, but that was a good field, real good field, and yeah, he's back in a big way.
In a similar sense to his Max Simmons win, he just tracked up into the race so nicely. Moving forward, what's his best trip? That's his second win now at the 1,000.
I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I sort of toying with the idea of stepping him out and letting him bowl in front in a rhythm. You know, when I was at Lindsay, he reminds me a bit of Scales of Justice, probably not that level, but that sort of horse that could bowl in front and get him off the bridle. And yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. I think there's a 1,200 in a fortnight for him, a 78 plus. We'll go there and yeah, hopefully get some consistent racing out of him.
Nominations obviously closed for the big races on Monday morning. Does that mean he'll be nominated in just about everything?
Yeah, he's nominated for the lot again. Yeah, he'll be Winterbottom and Railway. Hopefully we can get back to that level, but yeah, we've got to win another ratings race before then.
Exciting times regardless of where he goes. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Lockie.
There's Mitch Pateman after the win of Almighty Class. Great to see this horse back in the winner's circle. And here's Holly Watson catching up with Scotty.
Holly Watson joins me now. Holly, he couldn't have trialled any better, and it's a great opportunity for you, but I'm sure at the same time it comes with plenty of pressure.
Obviously this prep hasn't been so much pressure. I was with Mitchell last prep and I could see how much he was going through with him, but no, it's just great to get him back to the races.
At the trials, he was able to take a sit, show a nice turn of foot, but today circumstances meant that you had to sort of ride him forward.
Yeah, it was just sort of that tricky barrier, and you obviously just had people to my inside wanting to hold me off the fence, and it just wasn't going all that smoothly, but he's just such a good horse that he can overcome that stuff.
From when did he end up 3 deep?
Just coming around the corner, obviously. I did want to sort of roll him into the straight just because he's such a big, strong horse. I think that's the best way to ride him.
And it gives you the confidence going forward. You know from the trials and you know from his previous starts that if he draws a wide gate and you have to go back, he'll let down when you ask.
100%. Mitchell's done a great job with him. Obviously, he's changed the bridle on him with a Norton, taught him to settle. Obviously, his first start was a bad ride by me, kicked him out and just fired him up for the rest of his preps. So Mitchell's done a great job.
And what about earlier on? Mojo Rhythm, another hard luck story by the looks.
Yeah, he was just a bit tricky. He's probably a horse that needs to draw an outside barrier. He just probably just prefer to drag him right back to last and go around him.
Congratulations, well done.
Thanks, Scott.
There's Holly Watson combining with her partner Mitch Pateman and Almighty Class to round out the day as a winner. First things first, Scott, great to see this horse back at the races. If he was yours and you could only target one race throughout the Pinnacles, which one would it be?
I'm greedy. I would nominate for 3 of them, Lockie. I would nominate
well, that's what's happening.
Nominate for the Winterbottom, nominate for the Gold Rush, nominate for the Railway. I just think he's so brilliant even at this stage of his career. That's a 1,000-metre race there, and he's still trucked into the corner. I mean, if Mitch Pateman can get him to a Railway and run a mile and settle over a mile, then good, and then congratulations and go that way. But gee, I think he's a Winterbottom horse.
What a day it's been here at Ascot. Torino taking out the Maximum Stakes to break maiden status in a similar sense to Almighty Class last year, but he was at a very big price and a feel-good result for not only Sean O'Donnell, great to see him back in the saddle, but Brett Pope. He only has a small team, generally provincial midweek horses, but he looks like he has a serious horse on his hands.
Exactly right, Lockie. It's great to have racing back here at Ascot. The crowd turned out in force. It only gets better from here. We'll go to Ladies' Day. Well, you won't because it's a Sunday and you don't work, but we'll go with Riley Morgan tomorrow to Geraldton for Ladies' Day, and all of a sudden we're back here next week.
Exactly right. It's all heating up here in the west. That's all we have time for. It's good night from us.